Hi, this is Jaya. In this video, we shall see the summary of Hamlet by William Shakespeare. The full title of this play is The Tragedy of Hamlet, Prince of Denmark, and this is the tragedy written between 1599 and 1601. And it is said that this is the longest play by Shakespeare. The story is set in Denmark, and the play tells about Prince Hamlet and his attempts to exact revenge up against his uncle Claudius. And why he wants to take revenge on his uncle Claudius is he believes that Claudius had killed Hamlet's father, and this he did because he wanted to become the king of Denmark, and also he wanted to marry Hamlet's mother. Now the story starts like this. Prince Hamlet of Denmark is a son of the recently deceased King Hamlet, that is, his father's name is King Hamlet, and nephew of King Claudius, that is, King Hamlet's brother is King Claudius, and he is also the next successor to the throne after the king. And Claudius also married King Hamlet's widow, that is Prince Hamlet's mother, Gertrude. Now Denmark has a long-standing feud with neighboring Norway, and Denmark also has a fear of invasion led by the Norwegian king's son, Fortinbras. Now Prince Hamlet's friend Horatio and two centuries say that they witnessed the ghost of King Hamlet, and they plan to go and inform this to Prince Hamlet. The court gathers the next day, and Claudius berates Hamlet for continuing to grieve for his father, and Hamlet bemoans his father's death and also his mother's hasty remarriage. Now Hamlet comes to know about the ghost from Horatio, and Hamlet also decides to see the ghost himself. And Ophelia has been moved by Hamlet. But her brother Laureates, who is leaving for France, warns her against returning Hamlet's affection, and he says this to her and warns her, and then her father Polonius orders her to reject Hamlet's advances. That night, as expected, the ghost appears to Hamlet, and the ghost tells him that he was murdered by Claudius, and it also demands Hamlet to take revenge on Claudius, and Hamlet promises to do so. The prince confides to Horatio that he plans to act as though he has gone mad, and sways Horatio and the centuries to secrecy. He tells them that he should not tell this to anyone. And Hamlet also is uncertain whether he really saw the ghost or was it his own mind which made him to think like that. So he is not very sure about the ghost reliability. Now Ophelia tells Paulinus that Hamlet had appeared at a chamber and behaved erratically, and Paulinus thinks that it is because Hamlet is madly in love. And meanwhile, Fortinbras has been ordered by Norway to abandon an invasion of Denmark, but requests passage through Denmark for a march on Poland. Polonius speaks to Hamlet, and Hamlet feigns madness. Now Rosencrantz and Guildenstern, who are two friends of Hamlet, arrive there, and Hamlet discerns that they are there to spy on him. Now Rosencrantz and Guildenstern tell Hamlet that they have brought a troupe of actors. Hamlet asks the actors to stage the murder of Gonzago, a play featuring a death in the style of his father's murder. That is, how his father was murdered in the same way in the play, the character Gonzago will be murdered. And now Hamlet's plan is to study Claudius's reaction when he is watching the play, and then he feels that he can decide whether the story told by the ghost is true or not, and then he can proceed further and decide whether he has to take revenge on Claudius or whether he has to leave that idea. Now Polonius orders Ophelia to return Hamlet's love tokens while he and Claudius secretly watch to evaluate Hamlet's reaction. Now Hamlet accuses Ophelia of immodesty and denies that he has ever loved her, and this convinces Claudius that Hamlet is not mad for love. The court assembles to watch the play, and Hamlet has commissioned, and Claudius, as he is watching the play, suddenly rises and runs from the room, and this proves to Hamlet that his uncle is guilty of murdering his father, and this he has done because he wanted to become the king and also marry his mother. Now Claudius tries to pray but cannot repent. Hamlet seeks behind Claudius but does not kill him. It is a very easy chance for Hamlet to kill Claudius, because Hamlet thinks that if he kills Claudius when he is praying, he will straightaway go to heaven. But Claudius is a person who has murdered his father, and therefore he thinks that Claudius must go only to hell. And in the queen's bedchamber, Hamlet and Gertrude fight. Polonius, who is spying on the conversation behind an arras, calls for help, and Hamlet stabs wildly, killing Polonius instantly. And Hamlet also brutally insults his mother, but the ghost enters and reprimands Hamlet for his harsh words. Unable to see or hear the ghost, Gertrude takes Hamlet's conversation as further evidence of Hamlet's madness. The king sends Rosencrantz and Guildenstern to accompany Hamlet to England with a sealed letter to the English king requesting to kill Hamlet. Ophelia is driven mad by her father's death. Lawrence arrives back from France, enraged, and witnesses Ophelia's madness. Claudius convinces Lawrence that Hamlet is responsible for all this, and a letter arrives indicating that Hamlet has returned to Denmark. Claudius proposes a fencing match between Lawrence and Hamlet. Lawrence will be given a poison-tipped foil, and if that fails, Claudius will offer Hamlet poisoned wine, and in that way, Hamlet will definitely be killed. And now Gertrude arrives with the news that Ophelia has drowned. Hamlet and Horatio happen upon Ophelia's funeral, and Lawrence and Hamlet fight. Back at the castle, Hamlet agrees to the fencing challenge. Gertrude raises a toast to him using the poisoned wine. Claudius tries to stop her, but she drinks. Lawrence then slashes Hamlet with his poison blade, and in the ensuing scuffle, they switch weapons, and Hamlet wounds Lawrence. Now Gertrude dies, and Lawrence reveals Claudius's plan, and Hamlet kills Claudius, finally taking revenge for his father's death. And Hamlet also dies in Horatio's arms, naming Fortpentance as his successor. And here ends the play. If you have anything more to add on to what I've said, please write it in the comment box. Like the video, share it with your friends, and if you have not subscribed my channel, please subscribe and support. Thank you.